Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a special guest, a friend of mine, Ian Perez. Ian is a freshman at Stanford, and he is famous for his cheerfulness, always supporting the people around him. Ian Perez is the kind of person who makes you wonder how one person has 24 hours in a day. Originally from Orlando, Florida, Ian is a Stanford student who loves architecture, running, teaching, and attempting slightly impossible things. He posts what he does every day on Instagram, which somehow includes running 50Ks and riding a unicycle while juggling. I met him through table tennis, where he also somehow defeated me despite my 6 years of training. He is also part of Stanford Spokes, a team biking from San Francisco to Washington, D.C., while teaching STEM and psychology across the country. So today, let's dive into Ian's life. What is up?
What's up, Chio? Long time no see. It's been a while since we played ping pong together.
Yes. So I noticed that you're doing something on your computer. What are you doing right now?
I am on a podcast with you and your brother, Akira.
Yeah. 12 hours ago.
Oh. 12 hours ago. Yes. Today, breakfast. Yes. Today, I woke up early to get a little bit of work done. I didn't get any work done. But yeah, because nights have been very late. And I realized the later you stay up, the less you can focus and actually get work done. So I've been trying to get up a little bit earlier recently, meaning the past few days. Yeah.
Oh, so what are you busy with?
Pretty much classes. I'm in 20 units. Technical max is 20 units, but other people do more units. But with a lot of other clubs and activities, it's a little difficult to manage. So just a lot of project classes and stuff like that. And managing that with sleep is definitely a killer, I would say.
Thanks for taking the time to be on the podcast today.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Chio and Akira.
So to start off the episode, can you tell the audience a bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Ian. I'm a first year at Stanford, and I'm majoring in sustainable architecture and engineering, and I'm also from Orlando, Florida.
And I know you're really interested in architecture, especially sustainable innovation. And I saw that you've taken classes related to waste, design sketching, and energy efficient buildings. I've been stalking on your Instagram, by the way. And that you're also involved in design for extreme affordability. And for those of the audience who don't know about design for extreme affordability, it is a Stanford course where students work in team to design practical solutions for real communities around the world, based on Google or Gemini. So I wanted to ask, what first drew you to architecture?
That brings me way back, Chio, way back. I would say when I first started into architecture, the first thought behind it was product design in 6th grade. I thought that was cool. I liked making my own little board game type stuff. But then I kind of transitioned to architecture after I took an online course on some random website over the summer. It happened to be it was taught by a Berkeley professor, but that didn't make a difference. But yeah, that really kind of got me to fall in love with architecture because it was pretty cool. The whole idea where you can take something from your imagination and actually put that on paper and actually build that in the real world. That transition from thought to physicality is really amazing and awesome, which is what's so cool about architecture. And after that course in 8th grade, or summer after 8th grade, I really kept riding with that. But then there was kind of this discrepancy, well, I'm not the best artist in the world. I can't draw. Today I can't really draw either, but I'm getting there. But back then it was really how can I do architecture if I can't draw? So then my thought was civil engineering. But then there was basically the architect gets to do all the fun stuff, and then you hand it over to the civil engineer, and they just have to do the math behind it to make their dream a reality, which also was like, yes, cool math, but like at the same time, you're not getting to be that first person in the design process, which is something I really want to do. So Stanford's program was kind of perfect because it's sustainable architecture and engineering, which is kind of what drew me to this program. And throughout high school, like I took 2 years, I was in ACE mentorship program, which is a national organization that is surrounded by the architecture, construction, engineering industries. And basically just high school students from around the country all have local affiliations for ACE. And throughout the year, they work alongside mentors who are actually in these fields professionally, and they guide them towards making this final end-of-year project based on a prompt that changes every year, and they get to present at the end and just connect with all these amazing mentors. And that program was like really, really awesome. And that's kind of what led me here today with architecture.
So, was there a specific moment or a single thing you built in the past where you finished it and then sat back and thought like, yes, this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Oh, in terms of like architecture?
Yes.
Like I said, like there was a much like back and forth like civil engineering or architecture. I even did like a civil engineering course at Stevens Institute of Technology over the summer, like after junior year. And then I took a summer course, same junior year, architecture. And after both courses, I was like 100% civil, and I was like 100% architecture. So it was still back and forth. Even now, it's kind of back and forth. But I think I'm leaning more and more towards architecture. And recently, kind of a quote that someone told me that is really making me think, yes, architecture is, they said, you have your whole life to design within these constraints, real world constraints, money, time, standardization, and the construction agency. You have your whole life to work with these constraints, but you only have like 4 years in architecture school, or 5 years, however many years it takes you to get through an accredited program to actually develop and design your own unique point of view. So you can differentiate yourself between other designers in the industry. So that's why I'm maybe doing like some abstract models right now or stuff like that, where it's not really a real building, but it's like creating my own unique design point of view that I can then have for like the rest of my career, which is really awesome. And that's kind of making me lean more towards architecture and realizing, yeah, I might be doing abstract stuff now, but like that's what's going to help me be creative in the future in my career.
Okay, so I don't really know the difference between civil engineering and architecture. So civil is like, what is the difference?
So with civil, I also had this confusion in high school. It took me a little bit to understand, but now I would say I have a better understanding. Basically, like in the design process, first thing that happens when someone wants something built is you kind of go to the architect. They look at the site, they figure out what the constraints are, and then they build something based on what the client wants. If they want 4 bathrooms, or they want an office space that can fit this many people, something like that. They'll design a space, they'll make it like aesthetically beautiful, but also conforming to the needs of the client and the people that are going to be inhabiting the space. And then after that happens, like hopefully the architect keeps in mind they can't like build a floating building or like something that doesn't engineering work. But then that design goes to the civil engineer, or just the engineer on the project. And then they actually think, okay, how do I make this design come to life through like mathematically, like structurally sound? Where do I put the beams? Where are the loads in the building going to go to make this building actually stand? That's kind of why they say in like the architecture and construction or engineering industries, they'll say like the architect is an engineer's worst nightmare, because they'll get handed something over sometimes that it's like that's not going to happen, or it'll be so much more work for the engineer to actually figure out how it's going to happen. So those are the kind of two distinctions between it, but they work in parallel a lot.
Thank you. Okay, now I learned something new. So, and I saw your Instagram stories this afternoon, and it said that you just finished your ACE mentorship program. So what was that about?
Yeah. So a little bit like I was talking earlier about in high school, that was kind of really the big opportunity I had to kind of explore my interest in architecture, because that's not like a typical course you can have in high school. Some high schools have it, but mine didn't. So that was kind of an outside school thing. In high school, I did it like once every 2 weeks. And basically, you're working with your team on this prompt to design something for the end of the year, and you're getting guided by a bunch of mentors who are professionals in the field. So I did that for 2 years, and then this year I just randomly one afternoon I thought I want to be involved with that still, and I looked it up, and they have an affiliate association in Palo Alto as well as a bunch around the Bay Area. So I just sent an email, said how can I get involved? This you can come and look at a session. I went. And then I somehow was able to become a mentor, even though I'm not a professional, which is awesome. So now every week, it just finished, but every week throughout the school year, I would go for 2 hours as a mentor, co-mentoring with a Stanford grad, and just helping out our specific team of 3 students from local high schools. For them, they were working on the prompt that was designing a net zero data center. That was their prompt. So a combination of engineering, architecture, and the technologies.
That's interesting. Okay, data centers, net zero. That's really important. Okay, so
Yeah, I have a couple of questions that I want to ask Ian as well on this podcast. So the first one is about the Stanford Spokes, which some of you may not know. Ian, do you want to explain what Stanford Spokes is?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So basically, Stanford Spokes has existed since about 2013. MIT actually started it, but in about 2016, Stanford started doing this. And this year, I'm a part of the team. So basically, what they do is every year they bike across the country. So for us, we're biking from San Francisco to DC, which is about 3,500 miles. Over 10 weeks. And kind of the main focus of this, beyond just exploring the country, which of course is like incredible and so cool, the big thing behind it is teaching. So we're teaching in about 10 or more schools, or not schools, but places along the way in each state. So we'll be teaching at like boys and girls clubs. We're teaching at one prison, and some libraries, so just a bunch of different places, because of course it's summer, so schools won't be in session, but
that makes sense.
And we all get to teach our own unique lesson. So like there's six of us biking. I'm going to teach a lesson on still fleshing out the details, but I think it's going to be like design your own climate resilient house or energy efficient house, which it's going to be pretty cool, but I'm super excited for the journey.
Yeah, that seems really exciting. One question that might not have to do with me and you specifically, but why does it combine cycling with teaching? Like that's like the major question I had when I saw like the homepage for it. Why cycling? Like why can't it be like just going there by bus or something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, like, whoever started it, they must have had some sort of thought, like, I have no idea, but...
That's what I thought as well, yeah.
But what we say is, like, we bike so that we can meet the people on the ground in person, because, you know, you make more physical connections when you're actually talking to someone face to face. Like, you're taking the time out of your day to be there with them in person and actually show them things, because these are physical workshops. And if you're doing this, like, through Zoom, for example, like, you can't make that same connection. Yeah, you could bus there, but there's also this aspect of getting outside, being like with Earth in the environment. Like it's a more fulfilling and like real experience.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, a personal question that I had for you is, I know you like to do a lot of like sports, and was it the cycling or was it the teaching that you wanted to do?
So when I first found out about this program, it was summer before Stanford. I was just scrolling on Instagram and found it. The very first thought, I'll be honest, is I saw like the map and the fact that they're biking the entire country. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. That's so cool. So first thing was the distance, but then of course I saw the teaching aspect too, which it adds purpose to it. Like yeah, it would be cool to just bike across the country. 'Cause that would be so awesome. But the fact that you're actually adding a purpose to it and like actually teaching what you love, what I love is architecture, like that's just such a cool experience, and it just adds so much value to it.
It does. It does. Do you guys get to teach what you guys are majoring in?
Yeah. Some
Okay.
of us are teaching what we major in. Some of them are doing like past things like extracting DNA from strawberries, but
Whoa.
they're not like scientists or like studying that.
Okay. I was wondering, like, if there was something surprising that you didn't know until you actually joined the group.
I think the most surprising thing is that there's no like crazy training regimen beforehand.
What? Wait, you guys just go on the spot, like 3,500 miles?
I mean,
Is that-
to an extent, like, there's no like we're gonna practice 2 times a week, 3 times a week. It's like when you have time on the weekend, maybe bike a couple miles with like some of the group. Like last week, they
Okay.
biked 40 miles, but
Okay.
there's no training regimen. What I've been told is like after the first couple of days, your body starts getting used to it, which is pretty crazy.
Well, you guys are gonna take 70 days to bike across from San Francisco to Washington, D.C., right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's about how many miles per day?
On average, it's about like 70, 80. We have some
70,
lower
80.
days. Our biggest day, what I'm hoping we beat last year's team and we do like 216 miles, which will beat their day. That's the dream. That's the dream.
Wait, where's the 200 miles gonna take? Like, which state is it gonna take?
Probably Kansas because like it's like a steady downhill, slight.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, does that mean that you guys are going to have to go over the mountains?
Yeah, the Rockies are going to be tough. I think one day we either hit 8,000 or 11,000 feet in a day, which is going to be rough.
That's gonna be tough. Yeah. Okay. One more question. Did you guys have like an application to join that club, or was it just like the people who gathered up?
Yeah, it was a process.
Okay.
First off, you do a written application, and then you get chosen from that to move on to the group interview, which I got chosen for that. Group interview is like so scary because they'll ask one question that everybody has to answer, like 5 people, and if you're the first person, you get to say what you want, but if you're down to the last person, you have to think of a different answer, and it's like so scary. And like people at Stanford are cracked. They're gonna come up with these crazy like experiences they've had, and I didn't have anything like that. So I got waitlisted after that, and I was so sad. But I like wrote them a message to say like, what can I do? What can I do to actually be a part of this or be a part of this next year? And then they got back to me and said I got taken off the wait list. I was so happy. So happy.
Well, wait, what did you say for your?
That.
Yeah, you deserve that for sure. What did you say for your group interview?
Oof. There was like random situations like what would you do in the situation? Like one of them was like if the van crashes and you're up biking ahead and you hear about it, like what do you do in that situation? It was stuff like that, or like what tangible skills do you have? Like can you cook? And then I said no.
Why would you say no?
Because I can only use a microwave at this point, unfortunately. So I was lacking tangible skills, but hopefully make up for it in personality. I don't know. Hopefully.
Does everyone in the group have like sport like backgrounds, like marathon or something like that?
Yes and no. Like there's some people who they've said the most they biked is 5 miles before, but then then there's other people. Like we have one person who was on the rowing team for Stanford, as well as one of them who's on the soccer team. So like they're definitely big athletes. And then one person is very, very outdoorsy and does some crazy hiking and stuff before. And he's also run or biked 100 miles. So yeah.
Oh damn! Okay. That's hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was talking to Ian before the podcast started, but I wanted to do this kind of stuff in my university as well. because it sounds so fun. But I was wondering like how many people were actually interested in both cycling and education. So I was pretty surprised to hear that there's a lot of like people who wanted to apply for this program.
Yeah, you should definitely like look into doing it. Like it'd be such a cool experience, and through Japan too. Like,
wait, imagine if it ended in a day though, because Japan is so small.
oh wait, how many miles like from north to south is it?
It's probably like, wait, let me think. No. Probably like 1,000 miles, right? It can't be that long. Wait, if you count in like the islands, then it'll probably be like longer.
So we gotta swim as well.
I mean, yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, so my next questions are going to be about running. I chose this because I've heard like you love running, and I love running as well. So, oh yeah, and the first question is a question that Chio had, and that is about when we are running. Well, she gets bored, and by the time she reaches 3 miles, yeah, she like gets bored and doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
When you were running 50K, what were you thinking while you were running? Like, what went through your mind?
So definitely pain.
Pain, yeah,
but like
for sure.
when I first started running distances like Chio, like 3 miles, like I never listened to music. Once I started listening to music, like that's what gets you going. And running with friends.
With friends, yeah. Is there a friend that runs with you for like 20K or something?
Like for the 50K, I had a friend who actually, she was the one who told me about ultra running. And she started ultra running like a year ago. But she offered to pace me from like, it was 31 miles. She was going to pace me like from mile 15 to like 22 or something like that. And then I was like so dead that she paced me through the entire rest of the race.
Oh, that's so kind of her.
Yeah. But that was, she was what got me through that second half for sure.
Yeah, that 30 miles is so impressive. You ran like a marathon before the ultra marathon, right? A year ago, right?
Yeah, it was last summer. That was horrible. It was in the heat of Florida summer.
Oh my god!
And there was only like 13 people in the race, and it was like it was 13 out and backs on the same like bike trail. It was horrible, but I finished.
Oh my god.
Once again, my friends got me through the end. They came and helped me. They ran with me the last like 3 miles. And my sister also ran with me. It was great.
Wait, what happens like when you're running with your friend is that at first you're like super excited. You just talk. But then by the time it reaches like 2 miles, you just are out of breath and you're like, you exist, but I can't like talk. So...
Yeah, does that mean that you're out of breath?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like that comes with practice and repetition,
really?
like everything.
Oh, okay. So you talk through the 50K.
Definitely not. Yeah, my friend just kept giving me signs like, "Are you good?" I was like, "Yeah, yes."
Like for me, when I reach like my point where I just can't talk anymore, I get frustrated when like my friends talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to be concentrated. So
100% understand that. That can get so annoying.
And like I was cycling like 100 miles like for the spring vacation, and my friend was constantly talking about his like family situation on this like mountain that had like a slope of like 13%. I was so annoyed.
Right, that can be horrible because you're going so slow up anyways, right? Because you're like out of breath.
Yeah, so that's happened. But so back to my question. And what's your motivation behind running? Was there like a specific moment that you recall to that makes you want to run more?
Yeah, definitely. I got into running the first place sophomore year of high school because I was like so fed up with volleyball because I played volleyball
Okay.
for played for like 13 years now, 14 years. I was so fed up because it's like everyone kept passing me up in terms of skill level. Like I was at a point we got like fifth at the national championship, and ever since that I kept getting demoted after getting demoted. And like cross country in high school was like a way for me to be like, what I put into it, I get out of it. It's not a matter of I'm just making stupid mistakes. It's like the times are increasing and I'm having such a good time with like a supportive group of people. And that's why I run. And you get to see the world and see so many cool people and places when you're running, just like biking. Yeah.
Does that have to do with your mentality? Like when you're playing volleyball, you have to think of like so many factors, but when you're running, it's just like pretty simple and you don't have to think at all.
I'd say running's definitely harder, of course, like because physically and mentally tougher to be like you need to keep going even though you have no energy. But volleyball, it's just like it sucks because it's like you make a mistake, there's nothing you could have done about it. It's not like you could have pushed harder. It's like physically you just made a stupid mistake and there's nothing you could have really done about it. Yeah.
Okay. Does that have to do with like team sports versus an individual sport?
I think it depends. Like in volleyball in particular, if you mess up, there's always someone to replace you. Running, you're on a team, but if you mess up, I mean, yeah, your team's going to be affected because you won't be getting points. I was never at the point where my points mattered. I was never that fast. So for me, it was mostly just you run, you get out of it, you hold yourself accountable.
So you started off as a cross-country runner?
Yeah, and then track as well. And then in college, I'm on the club running team and done some pretty cool stuff with them. Pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, I've seen your Instagram stories. It's really fun. And by the way, I saw your like unicycle Instagram reel, which is pretty interesting. Do you do unicycles?
Yeah, I just recently found a club near Stanford, and I go there every 2 weeks when I can. And they have all sorts of unicycles. Like, there's lightweight unicycles, there's unicycles with gears, there's unicycles with no seat or saddle, all sorts of really cool stuff. And just recently I took two of my friends, and they were able to learn how to go like 50 meters in about like an hour and a half. It's like insanity.
Whoa. Like, when I was watching that video, I was like so scared of you falling down.
It's definitely scary. As long as you don't fall backwards, you're good. If you fall backwards, it's like over.
Oh shoot. Okay. So concluding like the questions that we had, Shio is probably gonna ask you a question, right?
Yeah. So you're like doing architecture. You're also doing like volleyball, table tennis, running. So what do you think ties all of this together?
I would say, like, coming to, like, from in high school, like, everything is for the application. Yeah, you're having fun and doing all sorts of fun stuff as well, but the application really what lines some experiences. Like, I wouldn't have gone to, like, New Jersey to do a civil engineering summer course had it not been, like, in the back of my mind thinking I need something for my application to stand out. But then once I got to Stanford, I told myself I'm going to have a good time, too. So everything's really recently been about, yes, doing well in classes, but there's also this aspect of like, if you keep chasing milestone after milestone after milestone and you're not doing anything fun along the way, you're going to reach that last milestone and look back like, what did I just do with my life? Like, I missed the whole journey, which that's what life's about. So side questing, having fun, doing all sorts of fun stuff has been like awesome. And you get to do so many cool things. Like I went to a ping pong qualifying tournament. There weren't even enough people who showed up for it to be competitive. I lost every game and I qualified for nationals, and I got to go to Chicago for like 3 or 4 days and have like the time of my life. Like those are the things that matter. Classes matter, but like these life experiences like matter so much. Yeah.
What makes you say that? Was there an experience that you looked back upon and said like, oh, I should have had more fun during this like, camp or something?
I don't think in particular. It's just with college you have a lot more freedom, of course, and because of that you can do so many random stuff. And in this location in particular, there's so many random places. Like I just ran Beta Breakers in like a costume in like a tutu with like bee wings in the back with like a headband. It was so goofy, but like so many cool things. Like that's what life's about. You want to look back and be like, It's not going to be like, I took that calculus class. It's going to be, I ran
Yeah,
in a
that's true.
bee
That's
costume.
true.
That's
Yeah.
what matters.
I like that out of you. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, one thing that's interesting about you is that, like, you're really risking your life of running like 50K, like juggling on a unicycle. Like, what happens if you just fall down? So what makes you so confident that you can still be alive, like, after doing these crazy activities? Like, do you just want to like risk, like, challenge yourself and like have this intense environment, or like what drives you?
Yeah, I mean, if you live your life scared, that's not much of a life. Like, whether it be physical or just like talking with people, um, like, you just really live life to the fullest. Like, I think one thing in particular recently, like, my grandpa just died, but then his thing in life, like, we were always talking to him, and like, he talks to so many people. Like, every single person he meet, he'd strike up a conversation. So like, what I've been trying to do recently is just talk to random people. Like, I was at the DMV the other day. I was getting an eyeglasses appointment today. And you just talk to random people. Like, don't live life afraid, because that's no life worth living at all. So in terms of like talking to people, and there's that, and then the physical aspects such as like unicycling, running, like, live life to its fullest. Like, my favorite quote of all time is from Steve Prefontaine. He was like a runner back in the day, really famous for like just hardcore mentality. And his quote was like, to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. Like, you have your whole life ahead of you. Don't live your whole life afraid to do things that are tough, or don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because who cares? Who cares if you make a mistake? You want to have the best possible experience you have, and something you'll look back at the end of your life and be like, wow, like, that was amazing. I met so many cool people. I made an impact. And like, that's what matters. That's what really matters.
I feel like people who are in their like 40s say that, and like they realize when they get into 40s where like your parents can live, like, are getting older, so like you realize that you can't really like be with them the whole time. But what makes you say so, like, when you're like, right, still like 19 years old, or yeah, still a teenager?
I don't know what exactly. It just like, I don't know. I see so many of my friends as well, like, just like saying no to a lot of things, like a lot of side quests, a lot of fun things, because it's like, I have to study for a test. I have a class, which, yes, those are important, and like, obviously you want to do well in those stuff, and you should, but you need to have time to do like fun stuff, like, and don't live afraid, because like, once again, those are the things that matter. You're not going to remember class in like 20 years, 10 years. Yes, that stuff matters for like masters or grad school applications, stuff like that, but like, experiences, meeting new people, that's what life's about. Like, you get money so that you can pay for like traveling around the world, or you get money so you can pay to be comfortable and actually do these cool experiences. Like, you don't want to reach the end and be like, well, what did I just do? Like, and a big thing also, I love like seeing the Instagram reels, like, you're on your phone, you just wasted an hour, like, that leads to five years of your life gone. Think about what could have happened. Like, I love getting the reels like that, because it makes me think back, like, I need to be out there, I need to be like experiencing the world, because that's what life's about.
Okay. So when you're like making a decision every day, like, what do you, or like when you're making, for example, a schedule of your day, what do you ask yourself?
Well, I have my class schedule like set on like Outlook calendar. That says pretty in place, but
Yeah.
Instagram's a big thing. Like, yeah, you can get caught up in scrolling, but like, if you follow like everything, like, I follow like every Stanford account possible, and like, I'll just see a bunch of cool things, I'll screenshot, put it on my calendar, and I'll tell myself I'm gonna go. But like, and by being involved in a bunch of clubs, there's always so many cool activities. Like, we're running from Stanford to the Pacific Ocean 2 weeks from now. Have I trained? No. Am I gonna do it? Yes. Like, always
I
being on
did
the
not
lookout
know.
for stuff.
Wow.
So how like much of your time do you spend on getting these informations every day?
Yeah, that's definitely a time killer. That's definitely a time killer.
But that's, yeah, really important.
yeah, it's important. Time management has been an issue for me for sure, but at the end of the day, like, it's life experience that matter, and carving out time to do these things that truly matter, as well as, of course, classes, but carving out that time and just saying yes as much as possible, like, be a yes man, like the movie, just, like, do as much as you physically can.
Wait, it's crazy that you have that energy to do all of this, because I tend to get so, like, depressed if I don't get like 9 hours of sleep. So I really need to get that. So
That's definitely important. Like, I wish I could be doing that. I could be doing that, but I don't manage my time well. But 9 hours is definitely important, or else, yeah, you can't be, like, present in the moment, like, in your classes and stuff. That's definitely important.
but yeah, you value these life experiences more than these like short-term goals of getting good grades.
I definitely value this. Like, that's definitely still a
fine.
concern.
Yeah.
Because I do have to apply to, like, grad school if I want to get or become an architect, a licensed architect. So that's still at the back of my mind. I just want to make sure I'm not, like, sacrificing my entire, like, journey for a grade, even though the grades matter. Like, there needs to be a balance. They can have fun as well.
So is there like an ideal model that you have that you would want to live like?
I think, like, on Instagram, there's a lot of, like, travel people who, like, travel the world, or, like, hitchhike across the U.S. or run the perimeter of the United States. Like, that kind of stuff is the kind of stuff I want to be doing. Like, thinking, like, tangibly, like, as an architect, the really big thing right now is, like, I want to be an architect, but I don't want to, like, sit in office for, like, 40 years. I want to find some way I can, like, travel the world or do cool projects around the world, or, like, help people. Like, the big thing is helping people, because that's what architecture should be about, making social impact. I want to see what kind of job exists out there in the world where I can actually live an incredible life, like, meet so many cool people, help so many cool people, while not being confined to a desk drawing every day or, like, doing office work. So I don't know what that life looks like. I've seen some people that are, like, architects traveling to, like, post-disaster areas, like, after earthquakes in Morocco, into, like, building affordable housing there. Like, that's a really awesome thing. Something like that I'd love to get involved in. But it's, like, figuring out what exists and how to get into that is, like, the struggle right now. But that's kind of where I see myself, hopefully.
Wow, that is really inspiring. So this is going to be my last question. If there is one thing that you could change in this world, what would it be?
That is a tough question, Gio.
I know you have a lot that you want to change.
If there's one thing I could change, it would be, I think, maybe not taking life so seriously. And like I said before, don't be afraid, because a life afraid is not a life at all. So I guess maybe just, like, if everyone could change the perspective, even though it's probably not realistic, but if everyone could change their perspective to be more happy-go-lucky, friendly, and just, like, not afraid to, like, talk to people, actually get to know people, make true connections, don't be self-absorbed, like, truly care and have, like, be a compassionate listener. That's, like, the big thing. Like, if you can be a compassionate listener, that's, like, the most important quality, I feel like in life as a human being. But yeah, that's what I wish. If the world could be compassionate listeners and not be afraid to do things and meet new people, like, that would be the thing I would change in the world.
Thank you. Yes, so let's try our best to become a compassionate listener and enjoy our rest of the day. So thank you, Ian, for having this time.
Thanks for joining our podcast so much. I think the listeners got a lot out of you. And for me, I think that final talk about compassionate listener made a lot of sense, because, like, throughout the interview, I think you're very good at listening to what we had to say and understanding your questions, which gives like a little bit of credit for what you were saying, what you were trying to do. That's all for me, and I hope that you have a great day.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I reached out on Chio's Instagram, and she said, sure. It's pretty cool what you guys have put on here. I need to check out the other videos. All of you listening should check out the other videos, too. This is a pretty cool podcast. And these are some pretty cool people, too.
Okay, adios, amigos.
Adios. Pura vida.